Mr. Muhammad ILIAS, who is International Healthcare Branding and Marketing Strategist, coming from BCC Martech, and he will be talking about creating a smart brand. And just a moment, give me a moment to do justice. So he is an international healthcare branding and marketing strategist and ethical marketer successfully running BCC Healthcare, an integrated healthcare branding and marketing agency with presence in India, UAE, and Sri Lanka. He is the author of Amazon's bestseller Ethical Hospital Branding and Marketing 15 Proven Strategies. Fantastic. He works closely with hospitals, celebrity doctors, pharma companies, labs, medical equipment manufacturers. With a decade of experience in healthcare industry, he has served over 100 plus brands to achieve better presence and deliver enriched brand marketing on for different market. So thank you very much. Very impressive profile, and I think we all are looking for that because we all need branding and also want our business to flare up. So please help us, Ilyas. Thank you very much. Come over. Just you walk up, come over, and take over the floor from me, and then go over to your presentation.
Thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful introduction. In fact, a memorable introduction, I can say. So, good afternoon, all of you who are present here today. Right after a heavy lunch, maybe for some of you, or maybe a lighter lunch for some others. Let me get started for today. The topic is creating smart brands in the age of social media. Okay. As it was, this topic was introduced, so some of my friends and there are others who asked me, like, Ilyas, people are getting confused with branding and marketing. Why don't you really, show, something about the difference between what is branding and then what is marketing? The moment we get this clarity, I think we will be very much focused about what we want through our brands. So this is the first slide. It says, what is marketing here is given there in a very simple definition format. Hello, I am John, a great musician. That is marketing. So you go and tell people who you are or what you want people to believe you. That is marketing. And at the other side, and if your prospective customer or the patient gets to tell you this, oh my God, you're John, the great musician. In the other case, you saying that I'm the great doctor. On the other side, the patient himself says that you're a great doctor. So branding is about what people talk about you, and marketing is all about what you talk to people. Hope this definition is clear. So with this in place, branding versus marketing. Branding is the why part of what we are going to say. It is long term, it is macro, it builds loyalty, it creates value. Don't expect immediate sales through branding. On the other side, you need sales, you need ROI, you need your business to grow. So further, what do? You do marketing. So marketing is the how part, it is short term, it is micro, and it gets you the immediate response that you want, the quick wins that you want to build. You want to scale up your turnover, just want to make few more numbers extra with your product sales, and it extracts the value that you've invested. It creates value on one side, and then here you reap the value. So in, again, much simpler terms, brand is a promise, values, and differentiators. Branding is what you represent your brand with, your logo, font, color, the communication, messaging systems that you may have. On the other side, marketing is your advertisement messages or your trade fairs like this where you come and present yourself. So with that simple and effective definition of branding and marketing, let me get into the topic for today. So let's understand how to use social media for branding as well as marketing. And how do we build a smart brand through this? The one line, if you have to take it from my entire presentation, the 30 minutes presentation that I'm going to make, the one line, the key takeaway is education is equal to conversion. Education is equal to conversion. What do I mean by this? As a brand, as a healthcare brand, there are lots of rules and regulations that we need to abide by to really communicate whatever we want to communicate. We can't act like a commercial or a retail brand in the market. We are a more responsible brand when it comes to the healthcare marketing. So education is the most important thing. If your education, awareness about the subject that you are into is really effective and more particularly helpful to people, mark these words, if your education is helpful to people, conversion is a byproduct. People will come, patients will come. You don't have to look for patients and do a promotion. If your education is not effective, or if you're not at all investing much on your education, your promotions won't help. Your discounts and offers won't help you. Clear? Going deeper into this subject is what I'm going to throw more light on. How do we really do this with a plan of action? So how do you use social media to get this thing done? So I am going to give you this formula, IPA. So right after my presentation is over, the presentation will also be available here in the deck. So if you're interested, you can collect a copy of the same from the organizers for you to go back and rehearse this entire plan, which I'm going to reveal it today. So the structure is IPA, which means idea, plan, and action. So what is the idea that we are going to have, and how are we going to plan, and how are we going to act? What is the idea? So how to use social media as an idea? First thing that we need to know is why people use social media. If we understand, then we can know how to use social media. This is the latest statistics from Hootsuite, and this is the latest stat that says, in Feb 2022, which was taken, and the main reason why people use social media is keeping in touch with family and friends. See, it's a very different reason altogether. Maybe you wouldn't have expected. And then reading news stories. When you have news channel and a lot of other mediums to do that, reading news stories and a lot of these things, and then you need to understand something, sharing opinions, and also looking for things to do or buy. Very important to note. Even they see a doctor educational communication video, they get impressed by the communication, they want to follow the doctor and get more such information, and may eventually fix up an appointment for meeting the doctor, or may recommend some of their friends or their known circles who may be interested. So now how do we get started basically with the social media concept? This social media that we are talking about is like a big ocean. It's so deeper, it's getting deeper and deeper every day, and is becoming bigger and bigger every day. With Facebook having hundreds and thousands of employees, a lot of things are getting developed every second as we speak, which means that it is literally impossible to learn anything and everything that the social media produces. Gone are the days when a software gets produced, people had time to learn the software, get an employment, get placed, and use the same framework for some time. Now, every single second, which means like literally every day there is change happening with the UI, which are major changes happening. So what happens in this particular momentum is that there are a lot of people who start getting overwhelmed with what is happening, and they want to do everything that social media offers or throws. Because of that, they start creating accounts everywhere, and they start investing time everywhere. They get drowned by these activities. And at last they come and tell me, ILIAS, I do all these things, but I'm not getting the results that I want. So what is the thing that you should be doing? You should know where to invest your time in social media and be very specific about what you want. And if you're very specific about what you want, you will not get drowned in this ocean. You will get the results that you want. So how to do that? Next question. So there are 4 golden rules you should know before you get started with respect to building your brand in social media. First rule is that you need to start with one. There are a lot of doctors who became very, very famous by giving helpful, useful content with just one YouTube channel that they started. Once they gather a lot many people in that particular channel, of course, the credibility, the trust is built there, the loyalty is built there. Even when they open accounts in other YouTube or open accounts with other social media channels, still they get the followers following them in those respective mediums. So what we need to know is we all have limited resources, limited amount of time, budget to spend, and everything basically. So if you can focus on one, what happens? Our efforts are focused, we reduce the cost, and we can easily understand whether it is working or not, whether it is contributing to your revenue or not. If it is not contributing, you move to the next one. If it is contributing, then you scale up the first one. Second, you need to have a clear-cut strategy where you are headed. Because a lot of people today, they randomly just start posting in social media and start expecting results. So that is never going to happen. So you need to have a clear-cut strategy. So don't do activity for activity's sake, posting for posting's sake, which will only keep you busy but not get you the result. Don't get lost on the way. The moment you start doing something, you gather some momentum, analyze whether it is really contributing to your return on investment. Don't get carried away by just moving forward. And prevent the money and the time wastage. If you have a clear-cut strategy, you will not deviate. You will say, I'll not do anything else, even if it is looking tempting and attractive. I'll only stick on to this strategy for the next 3 to 6 months and start seeing results. Experiment. The best thing here, what happens is the moment you have a clear-cut strategy, you start seeing results. And also, you will be having scope for experiments. You get to understand your audience better. Even if you know this is that same target audience that you're targeting in social media, what more content can really help this audience connect with me better? So if there are, say, 5 pieces of content, 5 videos you are creating, 4 videos could be the format that is generally accepted by people, and one could be an experiment that you can create, which may go even viral, which may not go viral also. But you get to learn and understand how this audience is reacting to you. Let not the features fool you. There will be a lot of features from the social media which will be coming day in and day out, but don't get fooled by them. Let no one fool you, in fact. The moment you invest on experimenting with your content, and the moment you see how to see the results also is covered in the presentation, the moment you see this is giving results, this is not giving results, that will be very clear to you. The moment you know that, no tool, no social media, or even any agency can fool you for that matter. The moment you have the structured experimentation process, so what happens next? You discover your secret sauce, the winning formula, the golden goose, the golden egg-laying goose. The moment you find the secret sauce, you start enjoying the results. Then again, what you need to do after you start enjoying the results, this results will be there for some time, maybe for 6 months or 1 year. After that, this will get exhausted, which means that something else will be working for you. So what you need to be doing? You need to again go back to the step 1, 2, 3, and then repeat 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. In that way, you will discover several such secret sauces. So all these several such secret sauces or several such secret formulas will work for you in the digital space and will start contributing to your revenue. When I say digital, a secret sauce basically, or a revenue earning medium, it could be one video which is really giving you has the potential. Even after posting it 1 year back, still people see that video and come back to you and ask you for that basically. So, but you have no time, right? I'm telling you to do all this, but you have no time. So how do we deal with this? By the time you finish your practice, you are like this, completely exhausted, completely drained up. So what do we do? So here are some case studies I want to present to you, where I want to tell you it does not really take much of your time to be very active in social media, to be very helpful in social media. You just have to spend, say, 3 hours in the entire 6 months. For you to create content for 6 months, you just have to invest 3 hours on a Sunday evening. I think that is very easy to do. And each video can be just for 5 minutes, answering one query that your prospects may have. So I'm going to give you some strategies of people who have used social media, which has really helped them take the big jump. So first is the case study of Opal Dentistry. It's a dental chain today. Earlier when they started this was just seeing only one clinic that they had. And the only thing that they had in mind was to establish a very good clear-cut clinical practice wherein the patients had utmost satisfaction. Operational excellency was given utmost importance. In fact, they were not contributing or not thinking much about the marketing aspect, going outreach as such. What happened one fine day? They got one of the prospective patients who came to them, and then they had a consultation, and finally it happened to be the person who won Miss India World 2018. She was Anukirti was. They did the smile designing for this title winner. They didn't know that she was going to win the title, so they provided the service, and she went out, and on one fine day she participated, and then she won the award. And everybody in the media started asking her basically who contributed to her success. Everybody wanted to know basically what were the elements that was instrumental basically. So they later found out in one of her Instagram testimonials she had to write, thanking this particular doctor, saying that only because of him on this particular thing, she was like very confident on that particular day. That one testimonial which went on Instagram, it was not asked by the doctor, let me be very clear, it was not asked by the doctor, it went on her own will. So that is the ultimate result of patient satisfaction that you get. It went there, and then people in page 3 crowd started coming in. That one testimonial can even build a brand. Right after that happened, then he started sharing lot more of experiential videos, experience videos, or even awareness kind of videos basically, which helped him build the brand that he wants. Case study 2. Here is a brand who wanted to do something with respect to social media during the launch of a hospital. Okay, so they did this, did come up with this idea of launching the brand with one video, launching a big brand with one video. So which means that, social media, as we all think about, yes, of course, it is time consuming, but if you plan it, it is less time consuming. But even some strategic moves need not even be time consuming at all. Creating a video wherein they had invested hardly a day. That much was the time which was invested on this particular thing, but it had a phenomenal reach. What was the reach we'll talk to you about? So what they did was, they wanted to launch this brand, which is a cancer center, and they wanted to have this central theme of spreading awareness about cancer. The key insight was there are a lot of people who wanted to understand and know about cancer, but they don't take any initiative unless and otherwise they have their near and dear ones affected by cancer, or they are affected by cancer themselves. So they wanted to reach this information even before somebody could be affected. So prevention is better than cure, on that philosophy. So they created a 5 minutes video and were titling that as Anju Nimsham Podum. So they interviewed 500 people and got the questions from these people as to what are the daunting questions that they have in their mind when it comes to cancer. They shortlisted 17 questions out of that, and then they created a video wherein the questions were asked from people from all walks of life, starting from an auto driver to the CEO of a company. And all those answers were given beautifully well by the experts themselves. And this particular video had 1.5 million reach. So this one video helped them in 3 different ways. One, it helped people get the awareness message. Number 2, it helped them build a brand as a launch brand in that particular region. Number 3, it actually helped them in the recruitment process. Because in tier 3 locations, recruitment is a very big challenge, getting the right talent. This helped them in a very big way. So even with one video, you can do a lot more wonders. And another case scenario here is, again with one video, what you can do, if you can really invest a good quality time in that. They've invested heavily on the robotic surgery equipments. There are a lot of hospitals who invest heavily on big funda equipments, and ultimately only one paper ad comes and saying that no, we all have this now. It's like an additional gadget added. But people literally don't know what happens with that. They don't have any clue about what it is. So this is an initiative which was taken to help people understand basically when and where this is really required, in the right perspective, in a very transparent manner. A video was created and then it was circulated to people to give them the hope that yes, this is also possible. Case study 3. During COVID times, people were literally scared about black fungus. And there were a lot of rumors, and every media channel started covering it and things like that. And how a brand could really handle that in the right way. This is from a hospital called Amrit Hospital. What they did was, they created a 5 minutes video in all the regional languages, that's in Hindi and Tamil and then English. And then they started circulating this particular content to the local population, helping them understand you don't have to panic now, you first have to understand these are the symptoms. Only when you have these symptoms, then you need to rush to a nearby ophthalmologist. Even though this was completely given in the favor of helping people, what happened actually or eventually was that people who saw the video, who later felt that they had some symptoms, they actually came to him. So even though the idea here is not to run a video to get the patient directly, when you are really helpful and the intentions are very clear, people are going to come to you. And this is another case study wherein this doctor, she did not have to spend one single rupee on this, but in the last 4 years, she has built a very nice personal brand and also established her presence very well in the social media. This is Dr. Sonal Parihar. Through her individual branding, that is to her personal branding, she's able to contribute a big share of her brand leverage to the organizational brand. She started a channel called Ask Your Gynecologist, which has 1.22 million subscribers. So what it has nothing to say, you come to me, get a consultation. It has all that what people are asking us questions, and she is there to just help them out. And this particular channel has also attracted the attention of international patients, and she's been getting a lot of international patients as well. So what is it, what you can expect through all these things? So one is the personal branding. If you see in all these places, it is the branding what is more important. An organizational brand with only offers and promotions can't really help you get what you want. If the personal brand of a doctor is really clearly established well, then the organizational brand can do wonders. Okay, so it helps you improve your OP. You go on a very, very treatment specific mode of helping people where you're really finding your niche specialization. It brings you new opportunities. It gives you the opportunities to even go for a training, physical, virtual, and then you become an influencer for bigger cost-based brands, and then you can co-create new products. When you are interacting with people, you really understand what people want. What we have seen is some really fantastic presentations by some doctors here who have created products. How did they create those products? They have been working very deeply in their core area of specialization. They really understand what is a real gap in the market. With that, they collaborate and create products. So the last thing that you can even expect is the monetization, which is a monetary benefit which is given by the social media themselves. So this is the idea. So what all you can do, just an overview of what all you can really expect or cover with social media. But what is the plan? How do I do this, ILIAS? There are 4 golden rules you need to know before you start the planning. First, you need to know what is your favorite and niche. This is a formula which is very, very popular with those in BNI. They say bread and butter, favorite and niche. So niche is one area wherein it is about all complicated cases that you get. Say for example, in the case of an ophthalmologist, it's a very complicated cataract surgery. So what happens when you attend to such a surgery? That becomes a case study. So when people read about that case study in the newspaper or on the social media, they know that when you can handle such a complicated case, my case is nothing. Immediately the trust is established. Second is the favorite. Favorite in the sense like you focus on cataracts and you create communications, helpful communications based only around cataracts and answering the questions that people may have relating to cataracts. Number 2, use the power of regional languages. That is very, very important. If you are really in the segment to really gain the kind of attention or make it helpful to people, there are a lot of people who don't want to watch health related content in English because they simply have that fear that I may miss out something which is very important and may do damage to my health. If I understand it in the language that I understand it the most, that is my regional language, I am very confident about even implementing what is being said in the video. So use the power of regional languages. In that way, what happens is, we have seen this in so many cases, that when an English content goes out and a regional language video content goes out, in fact, in some cases or in most of the cases, the regional video content has much better viewership than the English content. Marketing a cause is marketing for good. When you're marketing something, when you're promoting something, promote something which is helpful and useful to people. With that, what happens, because I've seen this in some of the practices where they have done this, they promote a message, they try to market a message which is helpful to people. With that, what happens is, you're not selling any discount packages as such. With that, you don't battle with their minds. With a marketing offer, you're always battling with people's minds. Then they start comparing. You are giving 500, he is giving 600. So whom do I go? So don't battle with their minds. Never battle with their minds. Win their hearts with a cause. Number 4, addressing audience in that mindset. When you know this is your core specialization, go ultra core in that. Just for example, this particular slide illustrates that. They're talking about contact lenses basically. So he has made, say, some nearly 30 to 40 videos only relating to one subject, and where he has given answers to everything in the form of a video, like sleeping in my contacts, how to clean contact lens, helpful, useful information. So this is another video which has got everything in the regional language. So this is the plan. If supposing, this is what I said, like this may take a little bit of time to explain, but this is a plan. So if supposing you are practicing in a hospital and which is not owned by you, and maybe you are a beginner or inexperienced, if you are looking for individual branding, what you need to do, what is the plan for you? If you have a clinic, what is your plan for you? How do you really go about in the social media? Single specialty hospital, what you should do? Multi-specialty hospital with major revenues from one specialty, or multi-specialty hospital with many super specialties. So for each one, how you can create an account and what kind of awareness videos you can place, or what is the kind of a media share you should be having. This is like a blueprint. So what we recommend, or I recommend basically, is this is a formula. This is what people generally ask me, what should I do? How do I get started? Here is the formula for you. Either you do it on your own, or you even hire a freelancer, or you even ask your employees to do it, but just get started with this. That's very important. So you should have at least 4 posts, 1 post per week, and 2 videos with 2 videos once in 15 days, and once in a week some insightful post on the professional update, and then you try going live in a social media handle. If supposing you don't have your own social media handles, ask your partner hospital where you are already working, if they can give you the media share, so that you can actually talk in that particular media share and talk about the subject that you are very much specialized in. If you have a clinic, this is a format. And if you have a single specialty hospital, this is a format. The presentation will be available. I just don't want to get into the details. So there are formats available for everything. Even if you're looking for like for a big brand, you can have a centralized theme for each month so that you're not getting deviated from the topics. For the next 12 months, you should have clarity what you should be doing on each month and what should be happening around it. Starting from social media posts, your blog content, your live videos, your other normal videos, everything should be revolving around that one central theme. If it is a cataract awareness month, you speak only about cataract. If it is IVF awareness month, you speak only about IVF. So whichever specialty that you are very much related to, you should be having that as your core focus. And this format is very much helpful even for you to get international patients through medical tourism. So you can even have a very, very country-specific approach. I'll give you one of the case studies right through the presentation. So that is the plan. So I gave you some ideas. Now you have a plan, and how do you act now? How do you get started? 4 things you should know again before you get to implement this. What tools you are going to use? Do you have a content calendar ready? Does it match with your core objective, or who is going to execute this? So what are the tools you are going to use? First of all, you need to decide which is that one platform you want to start with. So for doing all these things, you don't need a big team at all. So initially, you just need to do is a little investment of your time. Even your phone is sufficient enough for you to get started, because the phone even has advanced editing softwares today, or even YouTube has editing software inbuilt in YouTube itself. So you have to pick and choose which medium you want to start with. There is nothing right or wrong about any medium. There are case studies that people made big with any one medium also. So second is, how do you get your graphics ready? How do you get your video edited? You can use a tool called Canva, which is completely free of cost. Only thing that you require in this is a Gmail account. The moment you have a Gmail account, you can design your own content and you can have your own videos edited. Number 3, you need to know that there are softwares available for scheduling also, which means, supposing if you have created content for 3 months, so you don't have to be posting the content every week or so. You can just schedule the entire content for the next 3 months with the free tool which is provided by Facebook itself, or you can use the same tool which is called Creator Studio provided by Facebook for scheduling the content even in Instagram today. Earlier the tool was not available. So by spending 0 money, you can actually schedule the content for 3 months, but for the outside world, it will look like you're releasing videos every week. That saves a lot of your time. Maybe again on another Sunday evening, you just have to catch up to see what are the comments and how do you respond to them. Second is, you need to have a content calendar. So you don't have to approach things randomly. You need to know that, for example, you're going to use Facebook and this is the cataract awareness month. So what is the design content all about? What is the description? When it is a deadline, when it has to go out, or when it is scheduled basically. The moment you have a calendar, you will become much more disciplined and structured. So for that, this is a simple this thing. There is another mistake that people do when they're doing posting in social media. They mess up with the size. They create sizes basically which cuts the image in various different directions, and you don't even get the right messaging. So for that, you need to have this keyword called cheat sheet. The moment you type Facebook cheat sheet, then you get something like this, the real current sizes basically. You have to type cheat sheet 2022 Facebook or cheat sheet 2022 Instagram or whatever mediums. So Facebook also gives you these dimensions. These dimensions are very, very important to prevent communicational loss. Okay. Then comes a very, very important question. So I know all these things now. Someone tell me who's going to execute. If you're getting started now, and if you are an individual practitioner, I don't want you to invest 1 single rupee on doing all these things. All these tools which I just now told you are available free of cost. I want you to just get started. You can do it on your own. For on a Sunday evening, 3 hours invested, you can get started. Number 2, what you can do is you can train a member in your organization. You can send them for some classes. There are a lot of classes available in Udemy and other places basically. You can go there, you can ask your members to get trained, and then the person who is trained can handle all these mediums. Or the third thing you can do is you can hire a freelancer, so who can work on you on a part-time basis and still the cost is very less for you. The fourth thing only you should think of is hiring an agency. When you should hire an agency? Only when you are making sufficient revenues. Only when the turnover is above 5 crores to 10 crores, then only you should think about even investing on hiring an agency. Okay? So hiring an agency is a very critical part. Then the agency takes care of a lot of things on your behalf. The fifth thing is execution by your employee or your internal team, but get the consultation from agency. Because what happens is agencies all the time on the run, catching up with the new updates, working on different categories or the same category in different ways. They have lots and lots of insights which they are employing and deploying on very, very few different accounts that they have. If you have to really get the advantage of agency, you should engage them on a consultation mode. Then you get all these inputs. Then the internal team can implement all this. Again, after 3 months, again you get the inputs, you implement. Get the inputs, implement. Ask them to review. Having an agency outside to review is very, very critical. Okay? So, how do you know that all that you are doing is really the right thing for you? This is very, very important. So now that I told you, now you need to get what you want. How do you really know that you have got what you want? Test the content once posted. The moment you post a content in social media, the social media tells you what kind of reach it has got. All these analytics are already available free of cost to you. So you need to get a hang of the statistics to understand out of 10 pieces of content that you have posted, how many content has really reached people and how many people it has reached. What is working and what is not working. You may think something is working, but it is actually not working. So what is working, you need to find out. Then you need to make content similar to the one which is working. Okay, so here is an example for this reach. Say for example, if the same doctor would have done a post, they wouldn't have got say 958 views. This was done through a Facebook Live. Again, is another doctor here. He has used Facebook Live and he has reached 9,100 people. Okay, by spending 0 rupee. How did they do this? Very, very simple. They've used a new feature which comes out from the Facebook, and the Facebook, if they want to promote a feature, they will promote the people who are using the feature. So here, when the Facebook Live was new, those who started using Facebook Live, then Facebook started promoting them. So this is an organic push which is happening. Now today, if you want to really leverage on the mediums like Facebook and Instagram, as per their algorithmic changes that they have done because of the social media war between Instagram and TikTok, they are giving the organic reach. What will happen tomorrow, we don't know. Maybe Facebook will have a much better algorithm down the line or whatever. Check the analytics, where you are headed. So these things are indisputable basically. But finally what happens, you'll ask me like, what has been the ROI? So here is where you need to understand the key metrics in ROI. So through all these initiatives, what is happening, how many phone calls you've got, you need to have a cloud telephony system in place which records all these calls so that you know your call volume has increased or not. What are people asking today? What is the real demand we have created in the market, or what is the demand which is already there in the market that people are trying to ask about? Website inquiry forms, chat bot or the WhatsApp bot, which is very, very critical today. Direct walk-ins. Through these 4 things, keep a note on the source of patients. If through these 4 things you can really measure a lot of the patient traction which is coming into your system, and if you have a clear record of this, I think you have really made it all. Thank you very much. If you may have any questions, I may take 1 or 2. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ILIAS. Wonderful. I also learned something how to do that. I'm sure you. Any questions for ILIAS from anyone? Or it is self-explanatory? I think no questions. I think it's wonderful. I think it's look quite easy. Is it so easy? Means creating a video, put on the social media. But my question is, see, I'm not asking why people should watch my video or read it. They will find interest, they will. But how to reach out to them? See, you put a video on Facebook. It is something which attracts people, or how to reach out actually? That is my question to you. Any solution for that?
Very good question, sir. Again, that takes 1 day time to answer the question, but I will try to answer it in the next 2-3 minutes. So you have created a content, now you have posted in the specific social media that you have posted, and will the content reach on its own? So first is the selection of medium, as I told you. Like for example, Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, what kind of content you are posting. If it is something to do with CME, if it has got something to do with your professional updates, then LinkedIn is the better platform that has an algorithm that makes you reach to that respective audience. Instagram is more to do with something which is little fanciful, at the same time which is very aesthetic in its nature. If the content is more about cosmetology or dentistry and those areas, then Instagram really works well. If it is about Facebook, then in any update really works, but anything which is very helpful in terms of a useful patient video will work. So once you have posted all these things, there are certain things which are counted by these mediums. First is the consistency of posting. So I posted one video, I've just got 10 views, so what should I do next? Should I continue posting or not? No. You have to keep up this exercise for the next 3 months. You should not quit. Over a period of time, what happens is, all your old videos start having more views. So if you have to really look at one medium that you can fully leverage on, if it is only about videos, you should go to YouTube. Because YouTube has the highest shelf life. So if you go in Facebook and if you post it, sometimes people may not have track to how to find that video. That is only for a momentary gain. But as far as YouTube is concerned, it is there in the repository, and YouTube is the second largest search engine, which means anybody searching for the topic can find you. So one is you should keep up with the number of videos in a consistent way. Number two, keep changing your content strategy. Create content which is very, very relevant now, what people are searching now or what people are trying to find answers for. Number three, use features which are relatively newly introduced, like for example, Facebook Live. Even though it is old, but still there is new for a lot of people. So Facebook Live as a feature or a story as a feature, these features have a much better traction. Number four, when you know a content is really worth it and it is not getting pushed, change the titles and tags and the cover images so that it has a better reach. Fifth, even despite all these things it is not reaching, give it a push with a little bit of paid budget, because a good content is really worth reaching people. Initially, if you do all these things, I think you will have a better reach. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ILIAS. I think you said one word, tag. And I think that is what I understand, because I write something A, B, C, D, E, and now put it. Now, how it will reach to him, why? They only will read when it comes to when they start opening their Facebook account or something they start looking at. So when you say @ hash, so these are, I think, some ways of, using keywords, right? And so that people can, and then it's get an algorithm at the back end and push things. So, okay, I think that's why I was thinking it's not that easy. I keep posting, I get only 10 views and 20 views or maybe 100 views. So I'm thinking how to do it. Okay, great. Thank you. Any questions for ILIAS? I think it's fantastic. Beautiful presentation. I think very, very exciting and informative in terms of something to initiate and start and some good thing he talked about. If no questions, I think it was well explained in your presentation. So I think everybody enjoyed that. So can you put hand together for ILIAS and appreciate our, thanks to him. And I think there is a yes. Come on.